Welcome to Boys and Brunch. This is the show where we expose everything going down on the timeline. And today we are talking about WAP or WAP. I don't even know what y'all say, but it's one of them.
They say WAP in the song, right?
Is it WAP?
Yep.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. Okay, so that's by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. Uh, we're going. We're doing a quick TV rundown of the Real Housewives of Potomac and Greenleaf. And then we're going to end the show by talking about dating and specifically, what
Ooh.
you need to know before asking somebody out on a date, and some other things. So we're gonna jump all into that. And I am Jarrod D. King, and I'm joined by my co-host Brandon Harris Williams and Marcus Haynes. Hello, guys.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. Come on, wave.
I know that's his signature every week. I love it. So, Marcus, you've been a little quiet on the timeline. I'm trying to figure out what's been going on with you. Where you been?
I have been stressed. School starts back tomorrow, and we are online. So I've been busy trying to get all of that straight, and it's taken a lot more than I expected. So yeah.
Yeah. And Brandon, I see you're in a new place now. So how was
I am.
the experience?
Child. I like the place. I like the space. The move itself was just very stressful. I need to be at the police office tomorrow morning, bright and early, to talk about a couple things. But
Oh
you
no.
know,
Oh man. Okay. Well,
right? I feel like normally places let you move in before they start acting crazy. Not this place. So I'm gonna go knock on the door. We're gonna have a conversation.
I hear that. Okay. So just don't go all Drita on them as
No promises.
all right. So wait,
Really
what
no
are you guys
promises.
drinking? Because I didn't even ask you guys that. I actually came in with a classic mimosa. I was about to say mojito. It's mimosa. So
Okay.
what are you guys doing, Marcus?
um, I had some margarita mix left over,
Okay.
so I poured that up, and I've been drinking on that for the past 2 days to help me get
Okay.
through all of this chaos.
Wait a minute. And I'm being real fake classy. I'm drinking a Corona in a glass.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, okay. I love it. What we call that? Sophista ratchet.
That part.
All right. So to our viewers, if at any point you hear anything that you like, please heart it up on the live stream or just tap the screen anyway. How about that?
Tap, 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 tap,
I
baby.
will be watching the comments and doing my best to interact with you guys and shout you out if you say anything that is pertinent to the conversation. And if you have a question for us, just let us know. So with that, let's jump into our first topic, which is WAP. I want to know what was your reaction when you first saw the video and heard the song?
I still haven't seen the video in its entirety. I've just only seen clips on Twitter. But yeah, I really enjoyed the song. It's fun. It's catchy. It's pretty much what I expected from the two of them. So, and that's not a bad thing,
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, Marcus. It sounds like you're not as hyped as maybe everybody else was on Twitter, but that's cool.
For me,
Yeah.
no, I am. I mean, no, it's definitely something like fun for the summer. It just sucks because we can't go out and really enjoy it. But no, I
The
really like the
facts.
song.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Marcus, what did you think? I know you're the Meg Thee Stallion fan, right?
Yes. So I was very much here for it. Like I was one of the people. I didn't make quite 12 midnight, but 12:05. I was on title getting a listen.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. Like Brandon said, it's pretty much what I expected from them, real nasty. The video fit. Yeah, I really like the visual because I think Cardi does really, really well, with her visuals, what have you. I
Yeah.
think
Hmm.
Meg is kind of getting to that point. So I figured that it was gonna be a really good visual, and it was. I liked a lot of the cameos. No idea why Kylie was there, but that's another story. Um, but yeah, I was really enjoyed it. I've listened to it about 50 times by now. So
Okay. Good. I watched it yesterday for the first time. I thought it was good. I thought, I thought it wasn't like I don't know. It's probably not for me anyway, but
Okay.
I thought it was
Interesting.
I thought it was a cool song. But yeah, I saw you shaking your head, Brandon, with the cameo section. I want to know what you think about the cameos.
I don't have anything to say about that family. I don't. I'm not one of the people who like dislikes them, so I'm going to talk about them all the time. I have no comment on anybody in any association with that clan.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
pointed word choice.
So wait, Marcus, what did you think when you saw Kylie show up though?
But why though? That was my literal face. I was confused. I was in here, in my living room, rocking, vibing after the video. I was like, okay.
I will say though, I think at least seeing her, and then because it's like a lot of dancing in the video, I'm like, well, obviously this had to take place before. I'm assuming at least before all the craziness happened, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my thing is, I don't know why it was such a huge uproar either for or against, because it's like she was walking in the hallway for a good 3 seconds. So for me, I'm just like, okay. And I know that that's her friend, because I mean, with the last thing, we know that she was with Kylie. So so I'm not really surprised to see her make an appearance. But then people were like clowning what's her name for that little twist she was doing. Normani? Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, she looked fine. Like I just feel like people are just so judgmental.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true, but I think I know some people, like I don't know Normani that well. I know some people were saying that, all she does is dancing. Like, where's the music, Normani? Where's the album? So
I mean, but she releases music and then people pay it dust. So
right.
Because I don't think she's had a full album out, but I know like every single doesn't. I don't know, I see more people like talking against her than like supporting her, and I don't like that for her. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like it's more of the whole Rihanna argument. It's like, please give us an album, and I think that that's kind of where they're kind of stuck with her, because she released Motivation, and then it was like nothing. There's like crickets after that. We thought this was her big moment, and then she didn't really follow that.
Was that her last song for real?
Yeah, well, at least as far as I know. I don't really.
So I know she did the one with the boy. I'm like Six. It's not Six Black. It's supposed to be Black. Whatever it is. I think they have a song together, and now she has one I think with Sam Smith. But I don't know the order of these songs.
Okay.
So
and if I'm not mistaken, she got a collab with Meg too.
Okay.
Don't make me lie.
So, and then I saw, a lot of conservative politicians were speaking up about this, which I thought was really weird. And I'm like, why is there such a focus on this all of a sudden from politicians of all people?
COVID, they got nothing else to do.
I know, that's exactly what came to my mind too. I'm just like, y'all just sitting in the house, y'all got nothing to do but hate on Cardi B.
Right. I saw one of the politicians, girl, shut up.
I saw one tweet that was just basically like, ain't y'all supposed to be badly running the country? Where's our stimulus? What about that?
Hello.
Right.
Hello.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was a cool song. It was, it's number one right now, and so I'm with it. But yeah, I think that's about it for us on that topic. But I do want to get into, some drama with our TV rundown. So let's start talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. And Marcus, I know yeah, see, Marcus, I know you don't really watch Housewives of Potomac, but I think knowing that we were going to talk about this, you had actually done some research. So I want to start off with like your initial reactions to it. I mean, like,
do you watch any of the other Housewives? Or
okay.
It was kind of different than what I expected, because even though I don't watch the Housewives, you can't escape, hearing about it, what have you. So it was a little bit different. I was a bit surprised. It seemed like a lot of the people on there were older women. As I said, that kind of surprised me a little bit. Still messy, still drama. A whole bunch of like, oh, my husband did this. It tripped me out that the one that what's her name? Hold on, I took my notes. Wait a minute. Candace, that's her name.
I love it.
I'm about to say that she was like apparently on Twitter just going in on everybody, and I was like, "Ain't you too old for that? Chill." Like, so it was cool. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I want to ask you, Brandon, because what do you think about Candace's whole thing? Like, we saw the fight between her and Monique start to brew in these first 2 episodes, and she invited Charisse, which is one of the first housewives on that show, who's no longer
the first
on the
couple
show.
seasons, yeah,
first couple seasons. But she invited her to her anniversary party, knowing that her friend
her tacky
Monique,
anniversary party. But yes,
right, knowing that Monique had a problem with Charisse because Charisse was saying that Monique cheated on her husband with her trainer, and so she's trying to start. I feel like she's trying to start some drama, but I want to know what your perspective is on that.
Candace is messy. Candace don't know how to stay in her place. I mean, but she did it all of last season when she was like picking at Ashley, whatever, about whether or not she was gonna have a baby and all the other type of stuff or whatever. She very much so is like, I can say whatever I want to say, but then, oh my gosh, you can't say anything back to me. Like, why not, girl?
Right. And no, I just feel like on some level she is like the Kenya Moore of this group. Whereas she is just
I won't give her that much. I actually think Kenya is more likable. I do think Kenya is more mature. I think Kenya is playing a role on Housewives of Atlanta.
Well, that's really what I'm saying. I feel like, I feel like in every housewives you always have that one person, at least you have that one person that's stirring the pot, and I feel like Candace is doing that job. I feel like
that's Giselle messy ass.
Giselle used to, but I feel like Candace is just taking it another step. But so like, have you guys ever been in? Oh,
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Did Candace like just get on the show like last season or like recently?
This is her 3rd season.
It's her 3rd season. Okay, because I'm wondering, because you said that Giselle played that role of being the messy one, but these reality shows, they go and find people to kind of inject some new life, and I'm feeling like based off everything that I've seen her doing, I feel like that's what she's doing.
Yeah. I do think she was definitely a younger addition to the cast, which they probably didn't need because, like you said, everybody is a little bit older, or I guess half of them or whatever. So I'll give her that, but I don't like them.
Yeah, she's definitely on the wrong side for a couple of seasons now. I used to like her, but now I'm like, okay, you're moving a little funny. But Marcus, I want to ask you: have you ever had a friend invite your enemy to the same function? And or maybe even you, Brandon, have you ever had that kind of issue with a friend? And if you didn't, like, what would you do in that instance?
I think I haven't, because I think I typically know who my friends are friends with. So before the function comes, I'm like, is so and so coming? Because I can stay at the house. Like, so I had that conversation prior to. So I don't think it's actually ever happened. Okay. But also, I could just ignore somebody like Monique did. Like, we don't got to talk.
Right. What about you, Marcus?
I haven't. I mean, that's mainly because there are a few people who I like just straight up do not like, and my friends know who they are. And if they, for some reason, decided they want to bring that person around, then me and them will no longer be friends.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's what's kind of going on in this show. So, Brandon, I want to ask you what you think about the new housewife, Wendy Osefa.
She's okay so far. I think, it's always like weird when they introduce somebody new because they'll be there for a couple episodes before you finally get to really see them. And then, of course, always their first season is typically kind of, you just don't really get to know them as much unless they have a lot of personal drama going on. So she seems okay so far. I don't know about, her bestie, because she besties with Candace.
I know that's like a weird association there, right?
Because she seems mature and like sensible and smart, and like got her head on straight. And then look at her best friend. I'm just like,
You should pay more attention to their friends with. That's gonna tell you everything about them.
But then also too in the preview though, her like later on the season, I think her and Ashley are gonna get into it, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. What do you think, Marcus?
I go back and forth with Ashley.
Right. Ashley, I go back and forth with too. But yeah, Marcus, I want to hear your opinions as well, since you're new to the
Yeah.
franchise.
I want to like Ashley. I really do. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but I feel like I want to like her. Anyway, I kind of agree with Brandon. I don't really see enough of like I don't know that lady. I don't know the Wendy yet. So I'm like,
Right.
but I will say that, I stick to, look at who your best friends are. So if you best friends with Candace, I'm gonna be watching you out the side of my eye.
Right. And my initial impression, because there was that scene, I think in episode 2, where they were all sitting down to dinner. And I even tweeted this out, and I was like, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for her, because her facial expressions and stuff and her reactions was like, oh, y'all do this? Like, it was that kind of reaction. And I feel like she's gonna if she keeps doing that, she's gonna come off very superior, and it's not gonna play very well for the audience. So,
but it typically is that way though, because everybody says that their first season reality TV, they're normally like, because you think you know what you're getting into, but then you don't really know, and it's like, oh, like this is real. Like, so it might be some of that initial shock that's like, okay.
maybe I'll give you that. But let's move into our usual, which is Greenleaf, because there was a lot that went on, and
in the second to last episode, I'm like, wait a minute.
Right. So yeah, they did a lot. So we get this big scene in the church where Bob Whitmore is trying to do damage control, but the Greenleafs come in with the facts, and Grace and Darius show that he used Phil DeMar's mom to gain the power that he has now. And then Bishop Greenleaf comes in and lays out all of his sins for the congregation and for Rochelle and her sister. So, Brandon, let's start with you. What did we think about this scene here? This big, climax.
I think I've been very confused, uninterested in this storyline with all of Bob. I think last season I really thought we were going in a different direction with it. Like he was gonna really be this big bad villain, and we haven't really seen him all season. Just like all of this talk about him. So I don't know. I feel like it wrapped up everything very quickly for me with him. I was kind of like, this is a little rushed, but okay. And then I did really enjoy the Bishop's speech. I think it was really nice for him to finally be open and honest. I feel like he really has grown a lot. And like, I feel like maybe season 1, he was very probably closed off, or very much so like, I'm not gonna admit to my wrongs or whatever. But now he's really like, let me lay it all out and just try to really move on and be more honest than ever. So I appreciated that.
So, Marcus, what were your thoughts? Because I know you watched it, and
oh yeah,
and I know you had some thoughts. So I know you had some big reactions because it was a crazy scene.
Yeah. So I'll first say that Bishop did that. That was a really nice scene. And really, I felt it. I felt his speech, and I felt the him being genuine. But I want to go back to what Brandon said and push it a step further. I don't think that they knew this was going to be the last season, because I feel like there are a couple of things that were kind of rushed, or kind of like, oh, let's hurry up and get this over with. Like, I feel that with Bob Whitmore, because like you said, like he didn't really do, I mean, he did something, but he didn't really do nothing.
Yeah.
I also feel that about AJ. And I actually kind of feel that about Carissa and Jacob. Like, I feel like there were a couple of like storylines that didn't really get the chance to pan out the way they were supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know until the episode ended it was the next to last one. I was like, wait, what?
That part.
So I guess it kind of makes sense that they was like rushing to kind of wrap everything up. But I was like, I kind of wish you could flesh this out a little bit more.
Right. So. And I think the scene itself was, I had mixed feelings about it, because I was like, on one hand, what they're saying is cool, and I understand that they need to kind of have this big, climactic moment. But on the other hand, it's like what you guys said, is rushed a little bit. And then it's a little corny to just have, Grace and Darius just busting down the doors, and then it happens again with Bishop Greenleaf and the rest of the family, and they come into the church, and it's like this big thing, and I'm just like, okay, y'all. And then at the end of it, you get Charity singing "Amazing Grace" just out of nowhere, and I'm just like, okay.
I think it's the best she sounded. To me, it was the best she sounded out of the 6. However many seasons, it was the best to me.
I mean, to an extent, I can kind of I agree, but I kind of get it. I mean, it's a soap opera, so it's gonna be extra and dramatic and all over the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charity singing was a bit of like, what? Okay.
So they could have just walked out without that, but okay. But now I have a theory about AJ, or Fake J, as people have been calling him, because they really haven't tied that story up.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't think they. I don't know. I don't think they are either. But if they are going to do something, I feel like it will be he's like a guardian angel of sorts or something like that. And I feel like he's gonna be like, I feel like they're gonna tie in. I feel like they're gonna tie in that like spiritual side of Greenleaf that they haven't necessarily like went into like at all. Because I feel like, he died to save AJ and all that or whatever. Like I could think of it as that kind of a thing, and then maybe he like shows up at Bishop Greenleaf's funeral at the end of the episode or something. I'm just thinking, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think he's just gonna pop up somewhere, and like Grace is gonna see him in the distance, and then he's gonna disappear or something.
So AJ was not real this whole season?
That's the only thing that I can. Because like, how else are you gonna explain this guy's like presence in the series? That's all.
But I mean, but he's interacted with everybody though.
Who?
AJ. You talking about? Wait.
No, not AJ. Not AJ.
Oh, the guy from the last
one? I mean, the one that's died?
The one that showed up at the graveyard.
Oh, we haven't seen since then. I don't think we're going to see him no more. I think they let that go. I don't think
that's just like, it's just so, that's just not what they've done ever in Greenleaf. And that's why I loved the show so much, is that they've always tied up the storylines. I'm just like, if y'all just leave that hanging, that's
they said he died. I think that's it.
That's gonna be the ending, and which goes back to me feeling like they didn't know this was the end, because they probably was gonna bring him back up later on. But ain't no later on. Yeah.
All right. Well, then we also had the final scene that was kind of a shocker, which was Bishop Greenleaf writes "I do" on a piece of paper in his last moments with his wife, and maybe dies. So, and that was super dramatic, and it was a shock. But I'm curious, do you guys think that he died? Marcus, do you think he died?
I think that that's what they're gonna do, but it's gonna irritate me.
Why?
Because like somebody brought it up. They was like, if y'all let AJ live with him contributing absolutely nothing, I'm gonna say, and you kill off Bishop, I'm gonna be mad.
I think
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think too. I think primarily for me, I think he's dying because they're also doing a spinoff. Mm-hmm. So I think too, they're not going to keep everybody alive. So I think he's going to be the first to die.
And isn't the spinoff supposed to be about Lady May?
I don't know. I don't think they've announced, have they, or no?
I don't know. I kept saying that, and I thought that I had read something, but the last episode, they were, the two girls, Sophia and Zora, were talking.
Anybody watching that?
Okay.
Are y'all gonna watch? Y'all gonna tune in to see Zora and Sophie?
I ain't watching that.
I don't know. I might give it a chance to see what they're gonna be doing with it, but Brandon,
I ain't even gonna pretend. I'm not watching that.
That's funny. But yeah, so
I like the actress that plays Zora, but I'm not watching no show. Not in it.
Yeah, so that's why I thought I had read that it was gonna be Lady May anyway. So I don't know. But
I mean, who else could it be though? Like, is there anybody else who a spinoff would work with?
Not really. I mean, they've set up the other church in the bar, but then it's like, well, Bob Whitmore is out of this church, so are they going to go back to this church, or what's going to happen there? So I don't know. Maybe we have to see how they tie it up in the last episode.
I don't know. Or maybe I wonder if it'll just be everybody again. If he just dies, and maybe. But then that's stupid because you could just kill him off and kept the show going. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But another thing before we move on, speaking of, own network, I have to suggest, Brandon, I think you would appreciate this, is Love and Marriage Huntsville. Watch it, okay? That's all I gotta say. I think you will. I think you'll like it.
I've seen the previews for it.
It's like Married to Medicine, if you like that.
Oh goodness, I do like Married to Medicine. I do enjoy them.
Like Huntsville,
Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at.
I'm gonna watch it just for the sake of that. I'm gonna look at it just for that. Because what show is set in Huntsville?
It's a reality show.
Yeah. So I'm also seeing from our viewer at Evolving Remedy that now Greenleaf is done. I request that P-Valley replace your TV viewing, and I'm gonna have to give it a shot. I'm gonna have to give it a shot.
Do you watch it?
So, no,
I watched the first episode. I watched the first episode. My mom wanted to watch it, so me and her watched the first episode, and we spent the whole first hour because it's supposedly set in the Mississippi Delta. Yeah, that's where we're from. We spent the whole first hour be like, what accents? Who did they listen to?
Well, I saw. I think either the creator, one of the executive producers, somebody like on the creative team is from Mississippi. So I saw they were like defending stuff a few weeks ago before. They would say like their accents and stuff is on purpose.
I know who you're talking about. I know who it is. Where they're from and the Mississippi Delta are two different places. So yeah. But anyway, that's not here nor there.
Never mind. Shady.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to find a Starz subscription from somebody somewhere and see if I could, or maybe I'll just do my little research online and see if I can find a few episodes. But
I mean, if we do, it's cool. It's a cool show. Just know that I'm gonna be talking about the accents the whole time.
Okay. So I think it's like already 4 episodes in. I think or something, right?
4 or 5.
I think so. Oh, 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Something
5.
like
I may be wrong.
All right. Well, that's not too hard to get into. But now I want to move on to our little dating chat. We have a lot to talk about, guys, and this is going to be interesting. So, so first of all, I tweeted something, and then Brandon, you were like, "Oh, we should talk about this on Sunday." So I'm bringing it up. So I'm like, after matching with somebody and texting back and forth online, like regularly, what more do you need to know before you ask somebody out on a date? And I just want to know, I think that was coming from a place of, for me, there was a place of just confusion, not really frustration, because I wasn't really talking with anybody at that time. But, I'm just like, why does it take so long for people to actually ask people out on a date? Like, what's the barrier there? Brandon, what do you think? What do you think about
people don't know how to date? I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think too, it definitely maybe now in this age of like, we can just talk, we can just text, and when we meet, then we'll link up to hook up, but not necessarily like we'll go somewhere and do something. Because I think, like, so say you're in the same city, basically barring schedules or whatever, I don't think you should wait that long probably to date, because I think a date is not, maybe in a not quarantine area, but like time frame, but it's like, it's not the most major commitment. You guys can just meet up to get to know each other a little bit better in person, see if you mesh well, whatever.
Right.
But I also think too, you don't want to spend like weeks and weeks and months on FaceTime and on the phone and texting, whatever. And then you finally meet and you're like, oh, we don't even really get along in person. Like, what is this? So yeah.
Right. So I mean, and like, I feel like a lot of times I'm really quick. I'm just like, okay, we have some kind of a rapport through text. Let's move on to the next step. But I feel like there's always some kind of a hesitation or disconnect when I try to move to the next step. either I suggested, excuse me, this mimosa is killing my it's getting me, I'm like burping all over the place. Excuse me, y'all. Um, but yeah, I just feel like there's always a little bit of a hesitation when I try to move on to that next step. And I wonder if you guys have experienced that as well. Marcus, what do you think?
I don't think I've experienced that necessarily. Because I feel like a lot of the people, most of the people who, who I've pursued relations with are kind of in the same mindset as me, as far as like, oh, if we're going to meet each other in person, like we're trying to test out kind of like that in-person meeting. I think the problem comes in where people have this mindset that, oh, if we're going to meet in person, the expectation is we're going to have sex at the end of this. And that may be like the hesitation, like, like, oh, well, I don't know nothing. I ain't ready to dumbass to do that necessarily. Or I'm thinking that if we do go out with each other, like that's going to happen at the end. And kind of going back is just like people know what dating is. Like they think that, oh, if we link up, we're going to hook up. And that ain't necessarily the case.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Or also too, it might be that like if we go on this date, then that means there has to be another one. And it doesn't.
Yeah.
At all.
I think the word date just kind of freaks people out, because I remember I was talking with some guy for a minute. And I had mentioned, oh, like, hey, we should do like a virtual date or something. He was like, whoa, hold up. And I was just like, okay, it wasn't really that big of a deal. It's like we don't even have to meet in person. We can meet on video chat and
that's
like
a
have
loser.
dinner and talk. I'm just
that's
like,
a red flag.
Hope you moved on. Let it go.
Yes, that's a red flag.
Right. So
Neon,
anyway,
baby,
but
like.
now let's move into the actual date. Like
Okay.
when it's two men involved, who pays first? Who pays for dinner?
I always, this is so funny. This is the whole Dutch conversation, whatever. I personally, I think that you should always operate that at bare minimum, I have to have myself, whatever we go to do. Now, I think though, if somebody invites you, that they should pay, but they're not required to. Because I also get to some people that are like, we can go Dutch because it's just the first day. I don't really know if I want to spend my money, whatever. That's fair. That's fine. But it's like, don't show up thinking though that the other person automatically has you,
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Marcus? Is that about you echo what he's saying, kind of?
Yeah, for the most part, like particularly if I invite you, I'm going in with the expectation to pay, and I kind of, and since most of the time I am doing the inviting, that's kind of how I operate anyway.
So is that because you're a top?
Actually, no. Actually, no. Because I don't. The first time, I'm just trying to, that's just how I feel. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe there's some finalized
stuff. I like you said though, because you said though you're the one doing the inviting. So
yeah, so maybe it is. I don't know.
Okay, so have you ever had somebody ask you out on a date and you still expected to pay?
Oh, this is gonna sound bad. I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me out.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. It's interesting because I haven't had many people ask me out either. I've always had to be the one to kind of drag it out of them or just ask them out on a date. So, yeah. How about you, Brandon? What do you think about this whole top bottom thing with dating and who pays and all that stuff? Like,
I think a lot of people do stereotype or do whatever, but I do know there are some people who enjoy those stereotypes, and I think if that works for you too, I don't see any issue with that. Like, that's your business. Who cares? But I just think whoever, or maybe I don't see anything wrong with like having that conversation before. Be like, okay, like say I invite you, and then you're like, okay, so who's paying? We got a conversation before we even get there. So it's no even issues at the restaurant when the check comes. Like, or, sometimes, the way they were asked, together or separate, you say separate, they're looking at you like, oh, like,
yeah, that's real.
To avoid all of that confusion. If you don't want to pay for the other person, just say it.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I kind of agree with you guys. I think, if you're the one asking, then you should be prepared to pay for the date.
Hmm.
I try not to take it too seriously. I'm like, if the understanding is that we're going Dutch the first time, then fine. And I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it should be equal. Maybe we go back and forth, or if you like to pay, then I'll let you pay, and I'll pay for some other stuff. It's not
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. But I think I don't know. It's just an interesting dynamic, especially for gay men, because we're just like, we're always trying to figure out what our roles are,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they just haven't been set. But I wanted to share with you guys one of these crazy texts. I forgot to share this in our first segment of this topic, but I got this weird behind online text, and
Okay.
I just have to share with y'all because it's just too
I'm
much. Hold on, let me see.
intrigued.
Is it gonna come up on the? Go ahead.
Yes, I am going
Ooh.
to share the screen. Prepare.
You leaning?
I did.
Okay, so this is like after, I want to say, like 5 text messages. This guy texts me. He says, I'm going to be upfront to get right to it. I don't date. I just jump right in a relationship with someone. I like it that way. I see dating as wasting time because people are going to waste your time with your I don't know what that, you're on a day or in a relationship. I don't know what that means. But relationship, why not find out quicker? So I just skip the date and get right to it. I have one life to live. Either you're going to be the one for me or not, like, the punctuation is killing me. Um, that's how I roll. How do you feel about that? Are you ready to, like, in all caps, are you ready to jump in right now? Meaning I will have to move in.
Move in
Hey,
what?
move in. Oh.
And okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get the second one up.
Move in
Yeah, I
what?
will have to move in. And all right now, if you agree, that's what I'm looking for. Are you ready for that?
Hell no. Block.
And
Oh
I was just
no.
like, look, this was like the 5th text message that I had with this dude. And I was like, he's trying to move in? Where did he do that at? Like, so, reactions. Which is that an immediate block?
Yes. Yes, a serial killer. Run.
Brandon, like,
No, what the
what in
hell?
the
No.
world? Like, and
It's our
the
last
thing is,
conversation. Just
and I talked to
goodbye.
my friend about this because it was like, he probably got some bites from that, which is why he even, decided to put that up there in the first place. Which is just mind-boggling to me. Good looking guy, but that, like, no, we're not moving straight into a relationship. I had the nerve to even respond. I was just like, okay, let me just see where this is gonna go. And I was just like, uh, I just want to take it slow and blah blah blah. And then, I tried to get this whole, uh tried to be, really respectful, but just like place a boundary, because I'm like, no, we're not doing all that. And then he responded, so you jump in? And I was just like, all right, so you really not even listen to anything I have to say. So we come across
Whew,
some crazies in
you
online
do.
dating. So you just have to be discerning enough. So when anybody proposes an insta relationship, you just have to block them. That's what I've learned.
How old
So
was he?
I think he was about my age. He must have been like 32, something like that. Yeah, I have at love_eternal says hobosexual.
He needs somewhere to stay.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was nuts. But
Wow.
but to finish our conversation, we were talking about who pays first. But for Brandon, you brought up this question when we were chatting. You were like,
Okay.
are there rules against a person paying with a gift card or a coupon? And what are your thoughts about that, Marcus? I want to hear that. I want to hear from you first.
um, I mean, oh, this don't sound bad. I'm just gonna say I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I wouldn't do it.
Why not though? I mean, is
Yeah, why
there
wouldn't
like
you?
what's the
It's
implication?
okay. Just being honest, for me, it would make me. I would feel some type of way about it. Like I would like it would make me feel. It would make me feel like I'm broke. Like I'm just gonna be honest. It will make me feel some type of way to do that. Um, because I feel like more than anything else, like that first date is you like setting them those impressions, like you're setting kind of like the mood, kind of the tone. And I wouldn't want that to be like your first impression of me, like, oh, you out here, he's struggling. um, so I wouldn't do it, but I don't think that I would necessarily. It's for other people. What you do for you is gonna be for you. But for me in my house, I don't think I could do that.
Okay, so it sounds like you yourself would feel
Inadequate.
inadequate in front of somebody, and then you also don't want to give that impression that okay. What if somebody else paid for your meal with a gift card or a coupon?
I know
How
this
would you
probably
look
doesn't.
at that?
I know this probably doesn't make sense, but I wouldn't care because you're paying for it.
Okay. It does make sense, but it's
Okay.
like, 'cause you know how.
Yeah, as long as the card goes through, you're like, whatever, right?
Brandon, I'm curious what your thoughts were, because you brought up the question, and I'm like,
I think I'm leaning towards the same. I think I probably would be a bit apprehensive to do it the first date, just given how they might view that. But yeah, like Mark said, as long as it goes through, if that's what they pay it with, I don't. Because it's weird. It's like, to me, if I see them do it, it will like come off as like, okay, they're frugal, or they're, you know what I'm saying, they're saving their money, doing whatever, that's not my business. But I think if I was to do it, even if it was those same reasons, like, or if I had the money, if I still wanted to use this gift card or this coupon, I think I would still be like, hope you don't think I'm broke. Like,
so you would not use a gift card?
Maybe not on the first date, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would
maybe
use
two. Maybe.
Listen.
Use it. Look, if I got a gift card and I don't have to spend $50, just shoot. That joint is going on the plate in front of you.
No, you know, I'm sorry. $200
that's
date.
Just me. What'd you say?
He said, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to have $200 dates.
Oh God, no. Now, where did that come from?
I have no clue.
What is the $200 date? Because I hear people talking about that, but I'm like,
that's an extreme. That's an extreme. I mean, I said that I didn't want to, come out broke, but also ain't trying to break the bank. Like
right.
That part.
It's just, a date is supposed to be a way to get to know somebody. And I mean, of course, if you got it like that, you can impress somebody with that, then okay. But no, I'm not.
Where you going when you spending $200 on food?
Well, maybe they're not doing just food. Maybe so. Maybe it's not just like dinner and a movie or something. Maybe it's something else.
But if we are doing a $200 date, we are definitely splitting.
We split that.
Splitting the check or splitting something else?
Right, and I'm paying.
Look, baby, both.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it for our topics today, and I thank you guys for joining us. This was a good conversation. So if you all enjoyed our conversation and you want to see more, it's absolutely necessary that you let us know. Please give us some love, retweets, likes, comments, everything. Let people know that we are here, we are doing something special, and we will show you the love in return. We're gonna keep coming back. So let's do our little toast, y'all. I'm almost done. I didn't have to refill. Oh, wait, hold up. Because we can't toast yet. Because I asked for a link from Brandon last time.
You did, yes. Okay, so we were talking about our OnlyFans what ifs or dream people or whatever.
Yes.
And so I sent you the link of the person that I said.
Uh-huh.
And what did you say?
And I said, I don't even know what I said, but I know my reaction was just like, okay, I can see why.
Hold on, maybe I can find it. Maybe I can, hold on.
Maybe you can see my what? Because I don't think it's what you said.
I want the receipts.
I don't even know what I said. Was it like off the rails? Was that like
Probably.
crazy?
I feel like
For
it
us, I think it was. I think we were a little shocked.
like,
We were very excited.
I
right?
mean, look, I enjoyed it.
let's see. No, that's it's before this. Where is it?
It's back there. I don't know if
It
you
is.
can. So our live viewers, please stick with us because we're gonna find what we're looking for in a second.
I guess it's like
Okay, here we
2
go.
weeks ago, right?
Yes, I found it. Okay, so where do I start? Okay, I'm gonna start it right when the link was shared.
Oh God.
I wish I could share it. Okay, so Brandon shared the link. Jared said, "Holy crap, it's down to his knee." And then responding with, "Okay, he could get it." Brandon says, "That's a whole man, no half." I said, "The people just be out here with bionic dicks, and I can't, and I cannot." Brandon said, "Granted, IDK where he gonna try to put all that, but we could try." And you responded with, "I got a place." To which both of us were just like, "Oh, all right."
So do you want to share what that place is with the viewers?
They know exactly where that is. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Leave that for the imagination.
Exactly. All right, y'all. So with that, until next time. And I'm speaking to me this time. Be careful what you say because the boys.
Listen.
Take care, y'all.